Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight we're going to look at Pygame, the Pygame framework for creating games. It's actually a game engine. First of all, when should you use the Pygame framework? The answer is only if you really like Python and you don't have any Unity or Unreal skills. Then you should use the Pygame. You should use the Pygame engine. I'm going to show you how right now. First of all, the Pygame engine can be seen, and there's a lot of tutorials, a lot of cool documentation. It's quite old, so there's a lot of documentation on it. It's also very good for 2D demos, and it's also very good for 2D games if they should not be that professional again. If you want to create a professional game, then definitely I would use Unity 3D or on the Unreal Engine, because you can reuse a lot of assets there, while the Pygame, it is just an engine. It is a lot of fun to code in Pygame, and that is why I'm creating this video right here. You can also see regarding the news, there has not been that many news lately. Of course, the community, there's still a community that creates a lot of cool stuff. You can see that in the right side, where there's a lot of recent releases where you can see what other people are creating. So it's a lot of fun to code in this, but use Unity or use Unreal Engine if you want to use if you want to create some game that should be a pro game, right? A professional game, because there you can reuse the assets, and an asset is just an image or a sound. Let us jump right into it. First of all, the game that I created is right here. And let us just run that to begin with. I'm using PyCharm from JetBrains, and you can just as well use the Community Edition. I'm using the Ultimate Edition, but the Community Edition is just as fine for you for this purpose, because the difference is just that the professional version, the Ultimate version, has support for style sheets and HTML, but you don't need that for this for creating a Pygame game. And then another thing is that if you're using WSL, if you're running Windows with WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, then don't place your project inside the WSL, because you need a UI, you need a window, a screen to show your game, of course. So that means that you have to place your project inside the Windows part and not the Ubuntu part if you're running Ubuntu on your WSL. I think that's it. That's what I want to say to begin with right here. Now let us just look at this awesome game that I've created. Control-Shift F10. Look, what does it do? I can press the left and the right arrow. Look at all of those cute faces. Then we have a cushion in the bottom that actually saves some of these mic faces from going out in the bottom right here. It's an awesome game. Yes, it is an awesome game. Of course, it could be better. It's just to show you the mechanics and how to code in this Pygame engine right here. I'll just leave some of them out. You can see then there's a pop sound. That's actually a firecrack sound. They're all MP3 in the MP3 format. Now they're in the WAV, in the WAV format. Yeah. But this is the game. There's a cloud in the top. I've created a cloud myself in Inkscape, and it is very pretty. I know that. I've also created a cushion in the bottom, also in Inkscape. And again, I'm pretty amazed with myself, of course, that I'm capable of. I think I'm actually a kind of a graphic, a genius with graphics also, along with a good backend developer, right? So that is the game. Let us look at how to create a game with Pygame. First of all, if you have some assets that you want to use, place them in an asset folder, or else it will be a huge mess at some point. This is the cloud that I have right there. Then I have the cushion right there. Then I have the WAV sound right there. And then I have the mic's face right there. And I have the mic's face 32 times 32 right there. Then another thing you need, I'm using virtual environment to keep track of my environment, and then I've created this requirements file, requirements.txt file, and PyCharm can actually handle this. Then you just add all of your dependencies inside this requirements.txt file, and then PyCharm will actually add those libraries. If you don't want to use the requirements.txt file, you can go to settings, Control-Alt-S for settings. And then you can go to the interpreter, right there, and then you can go and add your. Then you can go and add your library right here by pressing plus, and then you can just find Pygame. I've already installed it; it's right there. Then you install package, and then you will have that installed inside your virtual environment. If your virtual env is the way that you want to handle your dependencies. That was the side track. I know that. I just want to tell you, if you're new to Python, then use venv to create something like this. Okay. So first of all, I want to create a new. Let us create a new game. New Python file, Mike's new game. It will look a lot like the old game. I just want to create one piece at a time. First of all, I'm adding this part right here, so I can only this code will not be run if I by mistake import this file into another file. Then this code will not be run here. If you are if you have used Python a lot, then this is not foreign to you at all. So here we have a function called main, or could also just be my game. Then I call it my game if the name is equal to main. That means that if this is the main program being called. The first thing we need a width of our game. That could be like 800. Then we need a height of our game equal to 600. Then we need a number of frames per second because we want our game to run the same. We want it to run just as well on a fast computer than on a slow computer. That's it. Then we need to. What else do we need? Then we need a loop. So we need some kind of is playing equal to true. And then we need to create this new while is playing right here. So this is our game loop that is right here. We can print something. Or we should not print anything right there because it will be run a lot. This is our game loop where we can do stuff in here. So this is actually this is the beginning of our game. But now we're going to steal something from the main right here. We're going to steal. We want to, first of all, we need to initialize the game engine. That is with this Pygame init, and we also want a logo to be loaded. We want to set the logo on our Pygame right here, our Pygame window. Then we want to give it a good caption. We want to create a screen with width and height, and we also need the clock speed, so we run just as fast on all of the platforms, on all of the computers. Sorry. So here we have the Pygame init. We'll just call that once. And we have not imported it yet, so I'll press Alt-Enter right there. Import Pygame. Let us look at the top. Now we have nice import Pygame right there. Thank you very much, PyChamp, for helping us being a productive developer. Here we have the logo. We also only set that once. We'll set it up here. And we also have the display. We want to also set all of these once, so I'll do that outside the loop right here. I'm setting the icon to Mike's face, 32 times 32. That means that when I start up the game, then we'll have that. And then we say new awesome game, like this. And then we set the display to width and height. And of course, we could have chosen another width and height. We can also choose the 400 times 800 just for fun. This clock, we need that clock to tick. We want the clock to tick like this with the number of frame rates. That means that this loop will at maximum be called 60 times per second because we have 60 frames per second, and this ensures that the computer will actually, or the game will actually run the same way on all of the computers. So that is quite cool. Let us go back to the program where we steal our code from. And the reason why I steal my code from there is just because it's easier. First of all, we can see here it's me who actually created this program also, this game right here. So I've already done this. I'm doing a lot of stuff right here. Okay, here comes some interesting stuff. We need the screen. We have not taken the screen yet. Where have we defined the screen? Yeah, we have the screen up there. So we need to, okay, here we can do some stuff with the screen. So we have the screen right here. We're defining the screen from the display right there. That is very important. We use the screen all the time. But then we can then fill the screen with some kind of color. Red, green, and blue. That is RGB, the RGB values right there. From 0 to 255. 255, red, green, and blue. So that means we have a lot of blue in this color right here. So this is the basic color. This is the background that we want to use, and then we need to update the screen also. Let us update the screen while we're doing that. We actually not. We need to refresh the screen. It should be somewhere. Let me just check. Here it is. Display flip. We need to call this flip right here. Without this flip right here, this means update the screen. That is what it means. So that means that we are drawing a lot of stuff up here, and then we are updating the screen afterwards. And we always need to. This is like clearing the background. This first we smear out this color all over the screen, and then we can draw stuff out afterwards if we want to do that blitz. And then we just need to draw some kind of screen, some kind of image somewhere, or whatever we want to draw. We can also draw text. Right here we do that with blit, but let us just both blit and images will be written. We will be drawn with the blit right there. And then we update the screen afterwards. But let us just save that for a minute, because we need to listen for events also, because there's the quit event. If we don't add this quit event right here, then we cannot quit the game. So I'll go here, and then we will ask for events, and I'll delete this right here. So here we are going through all of the events that we have in this. This is the event system of the Pygame, and we can add custom events if we want to. Like the spaceship has exploded, and then we can add the explosion sound. We can play the explosion sound. We can also add some cool graphic stuff somewhere from this event. So the event system here is quite powerful and quite strong. We need the it's very nice to use. So that means we can actually wrap our code into Python classes, which is then we can organize our game much better. I'm just using one big file right here, that is so you can actually see what's going on. But I'm listening for events right here. One of the events is named is named quit. This will be triggered when I press the X in the in the corner. So that means that when I'm closing the window, then this event right here will be triggered. We can also write something like this: events triggered, quit, like this. And then we quit the game afterwards by setting is playing to false. That means that we will come out of this loop right here, and then we can actually finish the game by writing let us print game has ended, like this. So let us run this program. We already have a game now. Look, we have this beautiful purple background right here, and then we have the dimensions what was it, 400 times 800. We can see that right there. Then we have new game, new awesome game. That is the caption that we put in there right there. New awesome game. Then we have my face, which is being added as a logo right here. Set icon right here. That is the icon that we are placing right here. And that's actually it. Then nothing is actually happening. We just have a game. If I press the X in the corner right now, because we have that event triggered quit right there, then our game could actually exit. If we did not do that, let me just comment these 4 lines right here. If we did not do that, let us just see what happens. Shift F10 to rerun the last run program. Nothing happens right here. It's not very responsive. So let us just insert this again right here, so we can quit the game. So that's it. But now we want some kind of figure added to our game, and that means that we want to load. What we actually want to do is we want to load my face actually. So I want to add an image. I want to have this image right here. And we can load that by Pygame, and then we need to load the image, and I'll just steal the code somewhere from. Let me just check. Just check where we have the code right here. I'll just steal it from up here somewhere. Here we have it, image.load right there. So I'll just steal that part down to my new game right here. Load Mike's face.png right there. That is this file that I have right here. So that is the one image I'm going to load. And then we want to place that somewhere on the screen, and we use the blight right there first image, and then we need to give the position on the screen where do we want this to be located. And this means X and Y coordinate, and the X starts from the top left corner and then it goes to the right. So that means that if I write 0.0, then it will be to the top left corner, because the Y coordinate will be from the top and then downwards. So let us just do this right here. So we can see now we have Mike in the top left corner right there. And if I write something else like 100 times 200, then we can see that now it is 100 to the right and then 200 down. And it always draws the corner it starts from the top left when it has to draw this image right here. So if you want to have a pivot in the middle and control the middle of the image, then you have to do that yourself. I know if you're used to the game engine, then of course you can set the pivot in the middle of the screen or middle of the image, and then you can control the image by moving the middle of the image instead of moving the corner of the image. I don't know if that made sense, but you have to control everything yourself in this Pygame right here. Okay, so now we have my face, and so let us move my face around a bit. We can do that by getting the keys and then changing the position. So I'll just, here we can get the keys. I'll just steal this code right here. Copy. Mike's new game. So we are still inside the game loop. Then I'm taking all of the keys right here. These are the press keys, because I cannot just listen for key events, because when a key is being pressed all the time, then it will only leave out. It will only give me an event once. But I can listen for keystrokes right down here under events. If I want to do that, I can also look for mouse movement events right here under events. But it's much better to get the keys with the keys the press keys with like this, pygame.key.keys press like this, and then I get a list of all of the keys that is actually pressed right now. So if I smash my fist into the keyboard and hold it down, then I'll get a list of maybe I can hold down 10 keys at the same time. Then that would be this list right here. Then I ask, is the left key being pressed right now? That's what I do right here. Then take my position, and let me just write my position right here. Equals 2, and then we will set this as a tuple, like 0.0, my position. And then we will change my position like this. We will subtract 2. And again, I'm changing this right here. I'm using my position instead of Mike's position. So what I'm actually doing right here is I say if the left key is held down, then I'll take Mike's position, and then I'll subtract 2 from the X value, and I'll just leave the Y value at what it was already. I'll do the same if I press the right key in the right arrow key, this left and right, those are the arrow keys. Then I'll take my position, and then I will add 2 to the X value, and I will then leave out the Y value to be exactly the same as it just was. But up and down, I'm just manipulating the Y value, which is right here. I'll subtract from the Y value. And of course, the larger this number, no, right now it's just 2. If I added this to, I could set a velocity equals to 4. If I set this to 4 right now, and then adds velocity right here, so that means that now I have a speed for this for the face that I can move. And of course, the higher number, the faster it will move, because this will run 60 times per second, this while loop right here. So let us just run again, and let us actually see what actually happens. I'm pressing something, nothing happens because why is nothing happening? Yeah, because I need to use my position right here when I draw the image. Then I have to use my position right here. Let us just run this right here. Now I'm using the arrow keys. Look how fast my face is just running right there. Now I press left, now I press right, I press up, I press down, and the face is just all over the screen. It is so beautiful. It's an awesome game. A lot of fun. We could play this all the time. There's no limit to that. It could actually go on negative, and it can go outside the screen, of course. Also, there are no boundaries. We have not added any boundaries ourselves. So yeah, of course, we could add boundaries and limits if we want to do that, but we have to program that ourselves because this Pygame library, the game engine, is quite it's a bit primitive, but it's also fun, as you can see, right? So that was key movement and drawing stuff on the screen. Now let us play a sound. So I want to play a sound, and again, there's a mixer we need to initialize. This is a mixer, and then we can play a sound by just creating a sound like this, and then we can play it as many times as we want to. So I'll go outside the loop, then I'll initialize the mixer, and then I will create a new sound named sound cork, and it is placed inside my assets folder under. And it has this name right here. It's a weird name. I found it somewhere with free sounds. Here we have the cork sound. And then if I want to play this cork sound, then I can just call play on this sound right here. It is important if nothing happens with your cork sound, make sure that you're using the verb format and that you're also initializing your mixer. If you want to use MP3, there are some tricks that you need to do. Read the documentation on how to make MP3 work if you want to use that. But let us just see here. Every time we press up, then we want to play the sound right here. Okay, every time we press. Let us go to events instead. If event dot type equals to Pygame dot key up, then go here, and then we need to check for which key has been pressed. If event dot key. Yeah, then we need to get the key. And how is it that we do that? How do we get the key? Event.key, okay. So if event.key equals to Pygame.k and then big K, capital K, underscore, and then we have, one. If I press the 1 button, if I press S for sound, let us take S for sound. S, lowercase s. If that is S, then take that sound and then play the cork sound like that. Let's just try this just for fun now. So run the program again. I press S. Desktop audio. I don't know if you can hear the sound. I just turned up a bit. Yes, I think you can hear the sound, right? Yeah. So, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, every time I press S, then that happens. Oh, we have a game now. There's both sound and graphic inside the game. Pretty awesome. Awesome. So, our game is already pretty awesome. But it needs one more thing. It needs some text because we want to make a score or something, right? So let us create a text. So I want to create a text. And we do that by rendering. But we need to create a font and then we need to render it afterwards. So let us just do that. I'll go outside this is my game loop. So I'll go outside the game loop again. And then I'll say, initialize this font right here, Times New Roman. You can change the size a bit maybe. I think it was a bit big last time I tried it. Then the text could be tests 1, 2, 3, like this. And this is this is the anti-aliasing, and then this is the color. If we just want it black, then we just give it a bit of a lower of a color right here, RGB. So that means now it's red. Let us give it like 100, 300, not 300, sorry, 200, and 10. Let us see what happens now. We need to put this text on the screen right now. We have created the text, but we have not blighted it on the screen yet. So we need to blight it. So screen.blight text, and then the position. Maybe we want it on top of the Mike's face. Actually, let us put it on top of Mike's face. Let's see what happens. So now it will follow. It will follow my face. Let us not do that actually. Let us place it like 100, 300. Let us place it down there. So here now we have it in the middle right there. Test 1, 2, 3. And the sound still works. Yeah, it's cool. Now we want to have a collision detection right here. We want to test when we want to check if my face actually collides with the text right there. If it does, then we want the text to change and maybe also a sound to be played. So we need some collision detection. And it's quite easy to do collision detection with Pygame because it has a concept that's called rect, which is rectangle. So that means that if the first thing we want to check before we start to draw stuff, then we want to check is my position. First, let us get my face position, which is right here. I will create a rectangle right here. And we need to get the image. Then we get the image right here. That is the IMT get width, and IMT get height. This is how we create a rectangle with the Pygame. We need a position, and then we set the width and the height. I get the width and height from the image, and then I get the position from my position right there. I want to do the same with text. This means that instead of just placing the text with a hard-coded value, then I want to have a text position like this, and this txt position be set to something like this. And again, I'm creating the text rectangle. This means that I'm actually creating two squares. And these two squares, then I want to check if these two squares actually intersect. Then there's collision. So then we change the text. So okay, so here we can check if the mic rectangle, my face, if that collides with the text rectangle, then I'm changing the text to, hey, render something else. Hey, you just collided with me, or something else. Boing, ding, hello, tra-la-la-la, or something like that, right? And then we can also change the color, of course, of the arc, red, green, and blue. So we will change it to blue like this. And we could also play a sound. So we will add a new sound. So I'll add one more sound. Sound firework. Sound firecracker. So that is this position right here. Firecracker. Here's the sound. So then I'll play the firecracker if we collide. Play. Yeah, that's fine. And we can also write else text equals to no collision, like this. Then we can set the color to something else. Yeah. Now let us try to see this game now that we made here. Oh, I've made an error right there. So no collision, you can see that with the beautiful font in the middle. Then I go down here. And then, yeah, it's going to... Boing, ding, ding. It's because it's going to be played a lot. Boing, ding. Something like that, yes. So what we can see it actually works. That's because we're playing the sound 60 times per second, and that's, of course, not very good. Of course, we could have made a Boolean to check if, but we're not going to do that. So we could have checked the state of we are collided or not, and then we could, then we could have played the sound only for the first time when we start the collision. So, let us end this game right here. I want to change the font a bit, actually. Where do we have the font render right there? The font that we are creating, where do we have the font? I think the font is a little bit too big. I could also have increased the width of the game. Yeah, we can also change the width. I'll do both. 600. Where do we have the font? Font, that is. Let us change it to 40 instead. Let us run the game again. No collision. And then we go down here. Boing, ho. Pointing, tra-la-la, here it goes, and then now it's blue. It's an awesome game already. So what have we done right now? We have checked the sound, that we can play sounds. A game is not a real game without sounds. We have checked that we can actually place an image somewhere on the screen. We have checked that we can actually place some text on the screen. We have also checked that we can actually check for collisions, and then we can react on that. Now, after watching this brilliant video right here, then you should actually be able to use Pygame to create your own game. Again, I would not recommend it. I think you should use Unity or Unreal Engine instead. But yes, if you try it out, then then have fun doing it. And then I know that the community would like to see what you do. So you can probably place it somewhere here under recent releases if you do something cool right here. It's good. It's also good for small demos if you want to create a small demo or something small. And if you're already good with Python, then of course it makes sense to use Pygame. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.